matter. And we are with ascendant 1 degree Gemini. Mercury has moved out of the 22nd degree. It is 20 degree Sagittarius. It begins to move a bit faster finally. Still Saturn day, Venus hour. And Venus is in the little 22nd degree in the 8th house. So we'll see what comes up. Midheaven, 13 degrees Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, that is 12 degrees Pisces. So we are we are about to enter the new moon in Sagittarius. The moon is trining Pluto. It's a Venus hour. I mean, it is Pluto, right? But it's releasing from opposition to Uranus, and it's trining Pluto. It's trining Neptune. Okay, let's do it. Let's do something Plutonian. So first up is the sticker. No. I'm going to, although it is releasing, let's call on the spirit of Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto 0 degree Aquarius. And I have something for this. Do I do the honey? It's Venus hour and Venus is on the 22. So I'm not going to go cocky. I'm just going to do a tiny bit of Pluto stuff and see how it works. Yeah, perhaps the fact that it is Venus hour is not the best. But you know what? And I even got some fire. Let's see, I have something that on. And I do Pluto in Aquarius. Calling on Pluto. Just Pluto in Aqua. And Moon in Sag, appropriately fitting, and we're going to do that. So there is a little bit of illumination. And I am going to work with the honey as well. So, very simple. Let's just see what it does. I'm thinking about oils. For Pluto in Aquarius, I'm going to pop some lavender into the mix. Of the honey. So just symbolically popping some lavender. Actually, all those nervous system stuff for Pluto. And I'm calling on the qualities of Pluto, that is cellular rejuvenation, so healthy nervous system, and having wealth that is good for our nervous system. This is in the 9th house, so it's worldly affairs, and that is support in the process of exposure. Yeah. So I'll take that. I want that to be consumable. As you can see. And I'm just going to pop the lid, turn it over, and we're going to have a Pluto Aqua. Yeah, Pluto Aqua. Where are my stuffy stuff? Ooh, time to look for things. so pretty quiet. Just Pluto in Aqua. And that is, of course, I'm going to take the caption of this. Yeah. Pluto is in relatively good position. It does have Mars, but it's not Mars hour. And I am going to use, the color black, I believe, because I don't think I want to pop like my green into that, because Venus is 22. I have purple. I'm not sure it's going to work with that. So let's see. Pluto in Aquarius. Interesting purple. And I did a little clay. And I'm setting intention to benefically transform masonry and architecture. And so benefically transform our nervous system, any technology, wealth, okay, the wealth that supports our nervous system, okay, so have wealth that is supportive of our nervous system, of our cellular regeneration, so that is popping. And yeah, I definitely would like to do oil, and Pluto is recycled stuff, so I love that about Pluto. And I'm gonna put in my helichrysum, which is a finished bottle, and I'm going to pop some oils, and that's going to be the concentrated one. It's on the spot. It's not a Pluto day, but Pluto is in Saturn sign, so I'm okay with doing that on a Saturday. Oh my god, I love the smell. So definitely helichrysum. I love blue lotus. So other than the fact that it's just an excuse to pop it in, reconnecting with our sensuality in a way that is benefic, okay? So transforming a nervous system around the sensuality, and having transforming also the cults, okay, with masonry and architecture and our structures to be, benefic. Also sensually, also orgasmically, and orgasm has so much to do with the nervous system. So this is where I'm going to have a concentrate of oils. And that's my blue lotus here with the helichrysum. My god, it's so good. I'm just going to let it. Pluto is so associated with essential oils because it's the essence of something. And when I get to the nervous system, then I'm gonna have 5 milliliters of joy here. And I might even use the blue lotus as well. So we're gonna have 2 of them. And yes, I do. This is such a Pluto thing because Pluto is big wealth. It's going to rejuvenate the everything of it. And I love that. Yeah. I'm going to pop a little bit of mint. Just tiny, just 1 drop even. Just 1 drop. And we are going to, of course, eucalyptus. So giving space, change. It's also great to release addictions, which is going to work well with the Neptune one. Ooh la la. Going to pop the eucalyptus as well into the blue lotus, which makes it almost the entire blue lotus dedicated. And I'm so happy because this is such a great dedication for Pluto. A little bit of lavender. Gosh, I have been using the lavender and I love that. Very classic. And it has a power to connect with your heart's desires. So I guess it's so calming for the nervous system, therefore. And I just love to use that. I don't have like cypress or any of the trees that would go with that. But hey, that's just the first take on Pluto in a Venus hour. And speaking words of love to the gentle giant. So yeah. Although this Pluto is my Pluto square, I still go for it because I feel like it's just benefic. There's something about Pluto is just so benefic in that sense. It's authentic. And that is patchouli. So a little bit of swill, concentrate. Yeah. And that is just a tiny fraction here. So we're going to have an architecture that actually supports the nervous system. Science that is actually working, okay, science that is actually benefic. And I'm going to put that one. Oh my god, I just love that blue lotus so much. It is so fitting to dedicate an entire blue lotus bottle. And here I get almost there. What would I put here? Geranium. Geranium has another association with the nervous system, and this is around basically when you have a pain that is associated with nervous system. So geranium is excellent for that, and it's also kind of like carrying. It's antifungal, which is great. Oh, which makes me remember I will put some tea tree because that is it's at least it's one tree, right? And that's going to absolutely be a grand finale for that Pluto oil. I like it that I have two bottles. I like it that it's recycled. Remember when I talked about recycled? For the honey, I didn't pop so much oil because, not because it's edible, but just because, okay, it's kind of symbolic. But when it comes to, the essential oils, I am packed with love. So this is, oh yeah, an entire blue lotus. That is amazing. And I'm going to talk about a little bit of intention, asking Pluto to bring its benevolent energies, transformative, authentic. So all things Pluto nervous system supportive, whether it's housing, whether it's architecture, whether it's art, science, astrology. Okay, so and this is one, and there is the second one. And I don't have incense here because of my situation, and I'm going to ask to bring in the healing well. So, but I do have, it's not a Deneb Algedy match, but it is a lighter with the symbol of the eye. And I'm just going to just put it through the fire. One. I want to put it to bring the energy. And there we go, picture. And like this. Just going to put it a little bit through the fire. Okay. So, oh, and of course, my stickers. That is so good. Asking Pluto to direct its energy into the honey, the oils. Yes, we do need that. Somehow popping the honey, the oils, and the clay. Wonder if I should do some more clay. So definitely getting the gist of it. I like the moon from where it's at. It's releasing from an opposition to Uranus. I won't bring Uranus from the opposition. But definitely this is honey to try and please blend with Uranus. So I'm going to let that sit for a while and do some, just let's see. I think it's absolutely right to do another clay talisman. And clay is, you think about, we use clay for pottery and preparing things that we cook with. But this is this industrial clay. And I'm going to do this one as a sphere. And what I'm using to inscribe on is basically a feather. It's a black feather. And I think I'm going to consecrate it for Pluto as well. So this has intentions, okay, with the basic style. Moon is decreasing, so that would be appropriate to basically purge, abolish any satanic ritual abuse. Mama, I'm recording. I have to share that. My mama just said, she's not gonna like that I say that, but she was sitting in one position and her bum was bugging her. That is so Pluto. Pluto rules bums, okay? So that's the input. When we're looking for omens, we're looking for omens kind of like, is it doing something? Am I doing something? Does it work in some way? Then that was one heck of an omen. And Mom is moon. It is also in my 10th house. And that is a little bit of Pluto. I'll put in some good humor into that. So abolish abuse and all dumb fuckeries would be appropriate, and abolish the things that we don't like about the masonry. transform it. And I'm going to put the lighter, yes, with the stuff. So there is honey. There are 2 bottles of clean oil, clean essential oils that I can later mix in with something. And now I wonder about the what's next, because I don't think I'm going to put like a body butter or something like that. I will be able to do that with the oils. But I'm kind of like, I don't know what would, you know, what would a Pluto body butter do? Maybe it would be good for like, the anus or something. I don't know. So one was helichrysum, which is shit fuck expensive, and the other one was blue lotus, and I dedicated the bottles, added some oils. Okay, I think I was listing the oils that I'm putting in them, and that was, I love the fact that it was spontaneous. I wonder if I should try for Uranus thing, because I think but it's kind of like the moon has left Uranus. Uranus is retrograde, so I'm not gonna F with that. And yeah, and Sedna, I don't know what situation is Sedna. Should I go for Sedna? I wonder about that. I will need, I'm just doing Pluto right now. So I'm very glad I got the honey jar, which I'm going to try and blend with the Beta Persei one, or the Uranus one. I don't think I have a Uranus separate from Beta Persei, so I will need, I hope I get to capture Uranus separate from Beta Persei, like Uranus Taurus. But meanwhile, we got the Pluto, which is very exciting for me. Okay. I set all intentions in there. I'm too exhausted to like write it down right now. But I'm very, very happy. This was so spontaneous. I guess the Uranus flavor. Venus is applying to Uranus. She is on the 22nd degree of Capricorn. It is Venus hour, but we are getting at the Pluto here. So I'm less concerned. It is Venus hour, I'm less concerned. Yeah, anything more I have to say about this chart? Okay, this normally wouldn't be a chart that we'd use because the moon is like decreasing so much, so it's like we don't see the light of it. But because it is Pluto, I kind of feel like that's okay, because Pluto is about what is invisible, okay, what is underground. And yeah, and we are going on the decreasing, the even protection, but here is decreasing, transforming, decreasing malefic stuff, decreasing moldy things, and we got the essential oils here. We got a little bit of a sphere here. So yeah, I think that is pretty okay. Neptune is still retrograde, Uranus is still retrograde, not going to touch it. But that is my first version of Pluto talisman, Pluto in Aquarius. That just happened. I love that. I really, really love that. So, very completely dedicated. And yeah. Now I have a little bit of a taste of lotus, blue lotus essential oil. All in all, good energies. I like that. The try to feel into the atmosphere is very calm. And that's the objective, okay? It's kind of calming to the nervous system. There's a Pluto in the house, okay? And fascinatingly enough, Pluto is in my 12th house, and I'm doing that within, my bedroom. And I like it that Pluto is in the 9th house right now. I'm just going to take another caption because, I don't know, I like that Pluto is in the 9th house. I have natal Pluto in the 9th house, so it's giving me kind of worldly changes, journeying, traveling. And Saturn is direct in the 10th, so it is Saturn day. It's true that Saturn is like not in the best position, because it is squaring the Sun and squaring Jupiter. It's applying, okay, Jupiter is applying to square Saturn, and there are no benefic aspects to Saturn. That being said, I kind of feel a good vibe about this. The moon is in Jupiter's sign, and the Mercury is in Jupiter's sign. Okay, so the ruler of Jupiter is also in Jupiter's sign. So I feel there's and Saturn is in Jupiter's sign. So I kind of feel like that's sort of a kind of okay, because even though the ruler, Saturn, is not in the best position, there's a lot of Jupiterian timestamp to this. And I like that. Okay, it's a very humble, very sombre feel. A lot of architecture. Okay, this architecture. Abolishing MK Ultra is appropriate for that. Abolishing programming. So continuing on with the intentions, the quiet, benevolence. So this is a Pluto of benevolence. If I take a look at Jupiter, Jupiter is still sextiling Chiron. Mercury is applying to trine Chiron. Although Mars is releasing from opposition to Pluto, we caught him before it goes retrograde. Like we're not until April, we're not going to have any more benefic. And the fact that the moon is decreasing is compatible with the invisibility, but also something transforming in the background, which is so compatible with Pluto. We're very close to the new moon, and is just 1 degree away. It's not an applying aspect, it's a releasing aspect. But we caught it, right? Very, very important if you can get to capture the bisextile. And this is something that, the impact of just doing this, the ritual and the ceremony, lasts for generations. Because Pluto is about sexual taboos, this is also abolishing like assaults in general, whether nervous system or programming or physical or anything like that, abolishing assaults, abolishing those traumas and the effects of those traumas get transforming the nervous system. So I might capture it in a salve in the future with my little big druzy real olive oil that I've been enjoying so much. But right now, the closest was to put things to the fire. The Yeah, I really like the energy. So far, there's something really benefically quiet about this. Okay, it's something, it's just good energy, something tender even that I stay with and completely unexpected. Um, I guess the fact that Venus is trying, planning to trine Uranus is giving us this benefic eureka, and Uranus is is still somewhat trining Pluto, and Uranus is associated with Aquarius, so I guess that's why. I might have an empirical evidence that Uranus is associated with Aquarius, because the unexpected factor here is giving Uranus, but it's not a Uranus talisman, and yet Pluto is ruled by Uranus, and so I do um, give reverence to Uranus on a Saturday, um, but that would mean kind of like one of the rulers is retrograde, but still very, very quiet. It's not an election that I would expect. I pay attention to the lot of fortune here next to Uranus, and I think it's the unexpected goods. So far, so good.